So yeah, IZ equals Z times cis 90. And like I said, cis 90 is cos 90 plus I sine. Okay, so where would you move this if you've got to move this 90 degrees? You're going to move it 90 degrees to the left. Well, that would look something like that. That would be R. Does that make sense? What does that line mean on the top? It's not. Conjugate. So what does that mean about your conjugate? Well, if it was A plus IB, what's the conjugate of A plus IB? So where would that be? If that's A plus IB, where would A minus IB? Right there, right? Reflected about the x-axis? Well, the A value, is it changing? No, it's the positive IB becomes negative IB. That's positive IB becomes negative B. Square both ones. Square both sides. All right, and then it says the point T representing Z plus W. Does anybody remember what to do with Z plus W? Again, part of vectors, maybe the physics kids. You guys should know it straight away, really. Z plus W. What's the golden rule?
Do you add the vectors and tail to tip or something?
That's it. Something, you can't say something. Yeah, that's it, that's the one. Bang, bang. So Z plus W would be that point right there. Z plus W is equal to this, which is T. Get rid of that. Well, that's to show you what Z plus W is doing. So Z plus W becomes this number here, which is Z plus W. I would recommend drawing the lines. That was an easy 3 marks. Mm-hmm.
Negative 7x equals negative 49. Do I have to add negative 40x?
No, you divide by negative 7.
So I just do 49
Divide by 7.
divided by 7?
Yeah. All right. Wait, any questions before I move on to the next slide? No? Okay. Try D if you remember it. Try E if you remember it. You should definitely remember F, try F. And if you can't do I, at least, then do double I, because that looks okay. So do anything you can from D and F. Let me give you about 2 minutes or 3 minutes to try whatever you can try. Exams. Yeah, so as you finish all those questions, the one that I gave you the textbook for, did you get time to complete them all? Yeah, that's normal. My solution is replace some questions. I'm sure I'll get some to you. All right, let's get it out. Then these two cancel out and you'll just P times 1 P cancels the P out. So the P is 1 P also cancels that minus P. So plus that becomes plus 2, that becomes minus P. 2. And then negative t squared plus 1 t squared is t squared plus 1 t squared. So x squared minus 2 is equal to y squared plus 2. And that's it. That's what should happen. And then pretty much do the work out this into your square. Anyone started with any? So I can start as well with one of them. With D, just a bit of a recap if you want it. I know you probably can't get it out, but D, the first one's a circle. The next one is obviously just an angle. The one that's a circle, if you want, the way we always started it, we let Z equal to X plus IY. If that helps, if you've forgotten it altogether, that's okay, you just wait for me. Find all the fifth roots of -1. That was this one, Z5 -1. Do you remember the formula for R and theta? 2k pi plus phi all over n. And R was a to the 1 on n. If it's all foreign language again, it's okay. We'll go back to it, you'll remember it. Then that means you can't do the sketch. Maybe the square roots, we let that equal to the square root of x plus iy. Then we squared the left-hand side, we equated real and imaginary. Maybe that one you guys can remember, I'm sure of it. Now you do? Perfect, go ahead. At least do f of I. Fi, sorry. And then maybe hence and so. So maybe you can get the 5 marks. You should have got x squared minus y squared equals to 3. If you've squared it properly. Because remember, you've got to bring it to the left side and square it. You're doing this, right?
Yeah.
Yep, so you should have ended up with, sorry. Wrong. Find the square root of this. Sorry. Square root of this. Other way around. So it's this squared. Hey, it's been a year for me as well. It's not like I teach this or anything, okay? It's only to you guys. I forget. Yeah. Huh?
So wait, x squared minus y equals
Y squared.
y squared.
It should become x squared minus y squared equals 3, and it should be 2xy
And then
should equal to 4. Then you solve simultaneously. All right. Start with the simultaneous.
Yeah. I think X is subject with 3x y.
Yep. And then sub that in.
Yeah, and then put 4 on y squared minus y squared.
Correct. How do you solve that? Times everything by x squared. Times everything by x to get rid of the denominator.
Yeah, but
Do it. Do it. Yes. Good. Yeah. So this one. The plus 8.67 is 3.6 blah, blah, blah. And then we go. So times everything by y squared. That one doesn't look like a multiply everything by y squared. You get me?
Yeah.
That looks like you just got rid of y squares and like a 4 minus 1 is yay. Okay. Anyone able to get I out yet? For those who are trying it?
Yeah, y equals plus minus 1, x equals plus minus 2,
So y equals
plus minus 1,
x equals.
plus minus 2.
I can tell you straight away that is correct. Because obviously you can sub it in. 2 squared is 4, 4 take away 1 is 3, 2 times 2 is 4, times 1 is 4. So, and vice versa. Good job. Now try to see if you can get your 5 marks.
I got negative 12 plus 26, I equals 0.
Alright, let's get to it. Anyone want me to do I? No, we're all good with I. Double I, Z equals minus B plus minus square root b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. I think I know what the inside should become. It should become 3 plus 4i, because that's the whole point of it. So square root of 3 plus 4i all over 2. Answer is minus I plus minus x, so 2 plus I on 2, because the square root of this is plus minus 2 plus I. All right, x is 2, I is 1. And you end up with minus I plus minus 2 plus I, whoops, plus 2 plus I, or minus I minus 2 minus I. 1 is one root, and the other root is minus 2i, so minus 1 minus I. That's it. Any questions? Please, any questions? No? Not yet? Makes sense? Where did you go wrong? You subbed in your Z. No. Oh, no. No. You understand how it's working, the square root now?
Yeah.
The square root of 3 plus 4i is 2 plus I. So there it is. Square root of 3 plus 4i, square root of 3 plus 4i becomes 2 plus I. That's the logic. Otherwise you'll get stuck. So they could do that as a question. They could just give you the square root and you have to realize to go and solve it, to do I yourself. All right, the other two, I'm going to take a snapshot and go and do them on another page. All right, here we go. D. Sketch the complex plane. Did anyone realize what the center is or the radius is for this one? That's fine. Z is x plus iy. What's the modulus of x plus iy minus 1? Well, that's the square root of x minus 1 squared, real squared, and imaginary squared. And obviously you can all tell right now, it's a circle. What's your center? Positive 1 and 0. And your radius is 2. 2, because that's going to be squared. Does that mean, yeah? I just didn't bother doing it. So it was easy, wasn't it? All you needed to know was the modulus is Pythagoras, square root x squared plus y squared. Draw that. X is 1, y is 0, there it is. Radius is 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and something like that. It's less than or equal to 2. What do we think? Outside or inside? Where do I draw? The outside region or the inside region? Inside region. Less than or equal to 2 is the inside. And then let's draw this one. Where's your center again? Look, 1 and 0, it's the same center, isn't it? So right there, open circle, if you guys remember this for your angles. And then obviously what are your angles? From 45 degrees to negative 45. So 45 degrees is this way. Negative 45 is this way. It's between that. And I think we can safely say we know the answer for 2 marks. It's everything that I've got in blue now. Up to this red bit. Open circle, and that's it. We're done. Any questions? I might just highlight it a little bit better. There. So you can tell once you probably revise this again, or even at school, it's not going to be something to you that you're going to look at and go, I don't remember this at all. It's just going to be like, oh yeah, fair enough, substitute x plus iy, and I'm pretty good at this. Wait, in saying that, your school teachers probably won't do it this way. So you got to be careful. Some of them might just not know it like this. Cool. So don't, if you realize you're learning and you're like, this is very complicated, just talk to me real quick, we'll revise it again, and voila. E. All right, whoops. E. All right, Z5 equals -1. I might give you guys this one again to do after I do it once. Your answers, Z must be in R cis theta form. So like, you know, A cis theta or R cis theta, whatever letter you want to use, doesn't really matter. If you guys remember, we needed to find A, which is your modulus to the power of 1 over n. What's your modulus here? 1, because you can't have a negative for modulus. So 1 to the power of a fifth, which in this case is still 1. That's it. Theta equals, we said the formula is 2k pi plus phi all over n. 2k pi plus phi is the angle that this must be written in terms of cis form. So whenever you're going to write -1, what's the angle of -1? Where is it located? -1 is there. So what's your phi? What's your angle starting from here? 180. So pi. 2k pi. You remember this? It's coming back. 2k pi plus pi all over. What does n equal to, you reckon? N. 5. N is 5. For k equal to? What's the first number we chose? 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now what you guys got to do is sub in 0. Your first angle is pi on 5. Then you sub in 1, 2 pi plus pi is 3 pi. What was that, Maria?
And then you have like this long line of answers.
Yes, you have this long line of answers. We have that, and then finish it off. Therefore, z equals, remember it has to be like this. 1 cis, like pi on 5. 1 cis 3 pi on 5. Yeah, of course. I mean, that was last year. That was dated probably, because that's what we knew back then. Until the first year went through it this year. Now we don't know until that. The syllabus is very annoying. The syllabus says they need to know it like this, so we do it, and then they update it and they go, no, they don't need to. It's fine. They can write it in the short form. All good. Any questions? Your turn. I want you to do both. Z3 equals 1 and Z3 equals to -1. So your modulus for both of them should still be 1. It's just your 2k pi, just be careful here. Plus phi has 1 moved. No, he hasn't. So that should be 0. Has -1 moved. Yes, it's pi. All over 3, k 0, 1, and 2. Try to do those ones. I'll leave it there. I'll scroll down there just a tad. Go. Really try it. Really crack. All right. What's your question? Adding this and then 100. And 12.5, 12.5, or like that. You only get this. 12.5, 5.5. No.
Hey, can you go up to the number before? Okay, like the zero, the zero, one,
K,
two.
you stop 0, 1, 2. Yeah, 1 on the clock. So pretty much solved. Very close to being solved. So you've got these one here to equal x plus 1 minutes. We've done that. That's absolutely cool. Good question. Let me see if we can. What is the solution to the problem? Well, maybe the better way, because I don't see you being able to integrate to get it to work. I don't see. Why are you stuck with a derivative? Because I don't think you can do it. I don't think you can do it through integrate. You can't, because you're going to have this issue. You're going to do it through differentiate. So there it is. And then differentiate this x y next to this. Alright. You got that? Is that this big? So then E dash D plus D dash D D dash D plus 1 2 plus 1 and ln x is 1 minus x on x. And that should be it. You're literally there. All right, let's try this. We got the first one, beautiful. So remember, your solutions for z are going to be in cis form, right? A cis theta or R cis theta. Okay, to solve for z, we need A and we need theta. We need R, we need theta, whatever you're used to by now. R to power of a third, R is your modulus, because the idea is this needs to be in R cis theta form. Or, yeah, okay. Unless you start getting used to these. So R is 1, 1 to the third is 1. Theta, 2k pi plus phi all over n. 2k pi. This, what's the angle? Well, it hasn't moved anywhere, so it's just 0 on 3. K equals 0, 1, and 2. And do the same thing again for this guy. A still equals to 1. Your theta, though, equals to 2k pi plus pi all over 3. Again, k is 0, 1, and 2. Let's see if we get it up. How's that going to work? Done. All right, let's finish it off then. So we should have had 1 cis 0, 1 cis 2 pi on 3, so cis 2 pi on 3, and then cis 4 pi on 3. Yeah, I just had a little laugh because you're like, I remember last year you said not to do it. It's like, out of everything, you remember that one little bit and you don't remember anything else. 2k pi plus pi, so that's 3 pi. Sorry, when it's 0, you should get cis pi on 3. When it's 1, you get cis pi. And when it's 2, you get 2 times 2 is 5, so cis 5. We're happy? All right, the next, anyone? Any questions? Okay, the next bit of that other previous question said, hence, graph it or sketch it, right? Let's do it for these ones. These ones are easier. So look, very easy. Where's cis 0? Well, cis 0 is right here, isn't it? 1. Where's cis 2 pi on 3? Well, 2 pi on 3 is 120 degrees. Somewhere there. And it's still got a distance of 1. So it's still the same length. And then where's cis 4 pi on 3? Well, 4 times 180 is 720. on 3, what's that? 240?
Yeah.
240? So that's somewhere here. Wait, this is 180, 270, so somewhere here. Really bad diagrams, but I think you guys get the idea. So this will be Z1, your first root, your second root, and your third root. And the idea of the circle, like that's where they're located, but if you want to know, they're always going to go through a common circle. Why? Because what's your radius? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. That's a really sad circle. If you tilt your head to the left, kind of looks like that's an eye, that's an eye, that's an eyebrow, and there's its mouth. You can see a little face happening. The head here is a bit bigger than the chin down here. I know, right? I should definitely be teaching art. All right, so let's draw this Z5. So look, very easy. Pi on 5, where is it? Where is 180 on 5? 36 degrees. So somewhere there. That's Z1. Then do 3 pi on 5. What's that? 108. Do the next one. 180. So we know 180 is definitely here. Z3. Do the next one. 75? Oh.
I was just reading.
252. 324. Now you guys probably remember we're not allowed to have them at these degrees because they go up to like 180. So what you could do, you can subtract 360 from both of these. So subtract 360 from 324, you should get negative 36. And subtract 360 from 252, you'll get negative 108. So what you've just proven is that they're going to be exactly the same as the top ones. So that would be Z5. And let's say 108 is somewhere there. That's Z2. That means negative 108 is somewhere there. Z4. Makes sense, doesn't it? So 324 is somewhere there, essentially. But it's good to know the way I just said it. Hold on. All right, like I said, that one's done. So sketch the fifth roots of negative 1 on Argand diagram. That would be the answer there. All right, very easy. All right, I think before you guys go, if you don't mind, you should try this question. Maybe Azra, this is good for you as well. This will be in your exam tomorrow. So 1 on f of x squared, you don't have to do the last one. That's not in your course. So just try those two. Just two minutes again, and then we'll go through it.
Am I allowed to go for the stuff?
Yep.
I think you're.
All right, just roughly, doesn't need to be perfect. So this would be my answer. Should I do it or not yet? Do it. So asymptote, happy. And then 1 over a small is large. 1 over closer to negative 3 would just be before, will be smaller, but it won't go past negative a third. So there's an asymptote there, because obviously it's at negative 3. So your answer will look like this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then This one's just very easy. There. So the important one with that was the asymptote at negative a third. Hello. All right, and last one. Wait, any questions? Last one. F of x all squared. Does anyone know actually what to do with that?
You reflect all negative y values up and cancel anything above the x-axis.
I like it. So all negatives come up.
And it's meant to be parabolic in nature.
Very good. And then what's your asymptote now?
Root 3, right?
No, 9. Because it's negative 3 squared.
Yeah.
It's f of x squared. So you take all the negatives down here, you flick them up. There it is. And then all of these terms. This won't be exactly on the line. They'll never see that because you're never going to have it. It's not going to be, I mean, you're just drawing on your own pages. But yeah, and then all the bottom comes up, but it's going to shoot a lot faster. And it's going to go all the way up to 9.
Would there be a negative case for this one as well? Because it'll be plus minus root y equals f of x.
No.
Okay.
That's a different case. You're talking about y squared now. Y squared is different to y equals f of x squared.
Right.
Y squared is plus minus root f of x. But the square, this squared, no. Careful. Yep, all good. All right, good work. Hey, look, you could do C. Let P of x be. Find the values of A and B, given that x minus 1 squared is a factor. So if it's a factor, that means you know it's got a multiplicity of 2. If it's got a multiplicity of 2, you should differentiate it once, and it's got to equal to 0. That becomes a quadratic, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I'll leave it with you guys. If you want to stay back and do that, you can. If not, get out of here. Adios, amigos.
Thank you, Sam.
You're welcome.
And did you see the message I sent you about the rates of change booklet?
See, what is it? Say that again.
I sent you a message yesterday, I think.
Let's have a
I was
look.
asking